Okay, can I? Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Tona Joku, and it is my pleasure to introduce our Team Dynamic Sprint 5 demo. We're going to be sharing our achievements on this sprint, impediments, resolutions, and potential next steps. We will start with our project manager, we'll move on to the Scrum Master, cybersecurity, QA, and then on to our BA. So without further ado, I would like to invite Marianne to share to take us through the project manager.
No, thank you very much, Tana. My name is Maria. I'm the project manager for the dynamic team, and let me. I can't go down, right? Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah. Basically, with this Spring 5, I developed a project plan, and although in this project plan is meant to be in early springs, and at that time I was a Scrum Master. I couldn't be a project manager and Scrum Master at the same time. So from last spring and this spring and the next, I'm the project manager. So I'm kind of doing everything from the start. And yeah, if we can go down. With the project plan, and obviously, is a plan where for mentorship platform, and where we start with the objectives. And what is the objective of this project is to create a user-friendly and platform for the mentor and mentees, to secure payment in terms of reliable payment, protect the financial transactions for both parties, and also create something easy access, engage, and a professional website for both the mentees and mentors. And including one of the our objectives is to create something easy in terms of booking system, where they can book the sessions through the website. And also, if they want to rebook it, and they can do that as well. If you come down, yeah, one of the key deliverables is, as I said, is to have a responsive platform designed for easy access and to secure any payment that basically between the mentor and mentees, and also to create some sort of trust and between both parties, and some of the developed is to perform a system they can book and also rebook for session management, and including and communication tools, easy access to have the profiles, and easy and to pay in any sessions as well. If you can go down. Next. And the scope is basically what, from my understood, is functional and non-functional. The functional ones is to create something designed friendly, also, and to get any ID, any verification for trust, secure payment, and to create methods or transactions payment, including the histories and secure gateways, and including the real-time booking, reminders, availability management, and also in terms of communication, messaging, video, conference, and also to get any customized profiles, rating, and feedbacks. And including our project is to create a help articles, live chat, and user feedback. For the non-functionals, is more like how quick the website is. One of the criteria is to have like at least for the loading, it should be under 3 seconds, and security to have security SSL and also protect any sensitive information. If you can go down. Obviously, this is a part of planning. For this project, we use an Agile framework. This is how we do for the backlog products. We create stories. Each spring, we create stories, and also we make it priority. Each story could be high, low, medium, and sometimes we could also the team can give like 5 point and also including the acceptance criteria. Is this story acceptable? Can we do it or not? So it's within the team, they need to discuss and see is that story is doable or not. If you can go down. Also including in the project planning, each spring has their own task. From one for this project, we got 6 springs. We are in spring 5 right now. Each spring we have a task, for example, and for spring 1, we did all the landing page, the header and footer, and the logo for the non-clickable. So for spring 2 as well, we did the landing page and header and footer and logo for clickable. So each spring is a different task, and it has a different goals as well. If you can go down. The timeline, I didn't do it properly, but I did it in Excel. I just put this from spring 1 to 6, and I include the holiday break as well, from what time to what time. If you can go down. I create a mini project, although and there's no budget in when I get the documents. I just create a project from just to see how average and the salary for average the QAs and Scrum Masters and security specialists and business analysts. So I just put a figure as average figures, and this is how you in a real life project. Obviously, when you get the case, the business case, you get the budget with it, and you will know how to estimate everything. If you can go down. Yeah, the next. Also, with the project plan, you must include the risk log. Normally, you just have to create ID numbers. You write the descriptions. What is the risk that you think it may happen within the project? Some one of them is delay in deliverables. So with that, you will see how the impact is, it high or low or medium. Likelihood, it could be high, but obviously likelihood maybe is a medium. It's just it's for us to kind of see how we can assess the risk in within the project. Also, we could include some plan, like for example, for that we can set a realistic timeline, daily progress, review, resolve any blockers quickly. So obviously, it wouldn't have any risk within the project. If you can go down. The team, also with the project planning, you have to include the team role. Each team has their own roles. I'm sorry, I didn't include the cybersecurity. I should include cybersecurity, but obviously I did add the project owner, Scrum Masters, BAT, the UX, UL and designer, and QA engineer. I should add this the cybersecurity. Apologize. If you can go down. Yeah, and also with the project planning, you must add the communication plan, how you want to communicate with your team, For example, in our project, we do daily stand up. We do the spring review, which is what we're doing now in each spring. The spring structure, that's also after each spring as well. And the stakeholders update, that could be weekly as well. You share your spring summaries, your milestones, progress, and address any issues. Yeah, if you can go down.
Can you, sorry, Mary, could you start rounding off, please? Thank you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's finished. Okay, that's the last one. So, sorry, if you can go up, yeah. With the project plan, also you include your closing a project and handover plan. And so if some of them, it's right how you wanna close the project. So yeah, if you can go down. And that's the last slide. And after the project planning, the project needs to be approved, and then goes to this next phase, which you can focus on development, designing, and meeting the milestones. So that's for next spring. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you, Marianne. Okay, so now we will move on to the Scrum Master. So I will present for the Scrum Master. Okay, so our goals in Sprint 5 were to implement the mentor and mentee registration user journeys. Those were the goals for this sprint. In terms of achievements, as Scrum Master, we had our Scrum ceremonies, specifically the daily stand-up, where we were able to resolve 90% of the blockers and impediments within the development team. We also had our sprint planning at the beginning of this sprint, where all 18 of the user stories were approved, estimated. So 18 of the approved user stories were estimated and committed to sprint. And then we had the sprint refinement, where we just clarified any questions around any of the user stories. We also had our retrospective, where we gathered feedback on how the sprint has gone, any improvements, any actions needed, and then the sprint demo, which we are having right now. And so this is just a screenshot of the user stories for registration, for the mentor and the mentee that have been committed to the sprint, and along next to there is the figure showing the efforts for each user story. In Sprint 5, we had a couple of impediments. The first one, we started the sprint with no Scrum Master in place. And then we also had a bottleneck that came up in terms of the development of the user story. So this was from the development team. So that is some of what's reflected on the burn down, which was where we did have a blocker in terms of user stories being completed. So it's just reflected there. But what we're confident is that by the next sprint, we've got some resolutions for that anyway. But in terms of how we resolve those two issues, an interim Scrum Master was found, which was myself, for Sprint 5. And also the issue with the blocker in the development was escalated so that a resolution can be found. And in terms of next steps, what we would recommend for the next sprint, just to make sure that we're able to keep things on track, is the suggestion is for more developer project resources to be added to the next sprint to ensure the timely completion of the projects, and maybe a bit more visibility or tracking of the development work throughout the sprint. But I think throughout the sprint, and then a back on track plan put in place earlier in the sprint to ensure that the blocker can be resolved before the sprint finishes. And this is just a chart of our velocity over the 5 sprints, how we've progressed over the 5 sprints. And this is our cumulative flow diagram over this particular sprint. Thank you very much for listening. And at this point, I would like to hand over to Maiwa for the cybersecurity team. Thank you. Maywa, just in case you're still muted, just in case.
Yeah, I'm here now. I'm here now.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Hi, everyone. My name is Amayowa, and I will be presenting for the cybersecurity team. So, Tona, let's go. So, in this sprint 5, we only did one course, which was called Microsoft Sentinel, and Microsoft Sentinel is one of the very important part of cybersecurity because for its ability to log threat and incident uh, in uh, in time. So it's very important for cybersecurity. So is a cloud native information and event management and security and SOA platform. It is designed to provide intelligent security and threat management for organization leverage and scalability. So one of its important also is that it integrates with various Microsoft and third-party service. So to collect data, it investigates, and it responds to incidents in real time. Next slide, please. So I put on some of the features of the Microsoft Sentinel, which we have a data collection and integration. So in terms of integrations, it integrates seamlessly with Microsoft product like Azure, Office 365, and so on. Also with other third parties tools which are not from Microsoft. So that's why it's very unique. So we also have our threat detection, which uses built-in analytics and machine learning to know an unknown threat in real time. So we also have our threat investigation. Uh, this one supports deep analysis with rich dashboard and customizable workbook. And we also have incident response. So in incident response, it allows for manual automated action to mitigate threats such as isolating devices or blocking IPs. And we also have cloud scalability, which eliminates the need for on-premises infrastructure and or offering a pay-as-you-go model to a large volume of data. Can you go to the next slide, please? So these are the benefits of Microsoft Sentinel, which is a proactive threat management. It identifies and responds to sophisticated attack. It streamlines operations. It enhances visibility, and is also cost effective because you have so many uh, uh, consumption basis and pricing model. Pricing model is in terms of you can do pay as you go, which is you will not be charged if you don't use it. So you will only be charged for what you use. So that's why it's cost effective. Can you go to the next slide, please? So I attached a screenshot of work we have done on the Microsoft Sentinel. Uh, this is a resource group, and it's showing three groups resource group created. So for me to quickly highlight what a resource group is, a resource group is just an organization containers within Microsoft Azure that allow you to manage and logically group resources such as a virtual machine, storage account, and Sentinel workspace. So resource group are not exclusive to Sentinel, but they are important. They play an important role in the setup. So I also attached another screenshot, another attachment, which show the Microsoft Sentinel environment, showing the default directory, which shows all the functionality of the Sentinel, which has where you can change, add or remove a user or group. So there are so many features that can be done on this Microsoft Sentinel, and it's very, very important to a SOC analyst. So, and Microsoft Azure is one of the unique SIM tools that we have out there. Next, please. Yeah, so that is all I have for you guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mayor. Next, we have our QA team, and Abimbola will be presenting for the QA team. Abimbola, I'm ready when
Yeah.
you are.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abimbola Olaide. I'll be presenting for the QA in Team Dynamics. Yeah. For this presentation, next slide, please. For this presentation, I'll start by highlighting our key sprint achievements, which reflect our hard work, dedication, and collaboration with the entire team. Now, for the automation, we developed a behavioral-driven development automation, that's BDD automation framework, using Java, Maven, and Selenium. It's by automating the test process, we actually reduce manual efforts, and it allows us to achieve higher efficiency and focus on enhancing our product quality. And automation has also helped us to reduce our manual testing time by 50%. This efficiency means that we can reallocate more valuable resources to other priority tasks and allow our immediate attention and expertise. Yeah, for the test coverage, we ensure to cover 100% coverage for critical features. This ensure a robust validation process for the most important functionality of our system, like the login and the register page, register feature of this sprint. With comprehensive test coverage, we can deploy new changes without the risk of knowing that we safeguard our user experience and minimizing the risk of defects going into production. For the collaboration, since this we are able to successfully collaborate very well, and this practice has led to shared understanding between the developer, the tester, and the product owner, fostering an environment of teamwork and efficiency. And it helps to eliminate confusion and promote comprehensive work atmosphere. Next slide, please. Yeah, for those that may be unfamiliar with BDD, BDD is a collaborative approach that bridges gaps between technical and non-technical stakeholders by using a syntax called 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓. By using clear criteria to define the desired behavior of the system, we ensure that both technical and non-technical participants can engage meaningfully throughout the development process. So, and 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓 syntax makes use of giving when and then. So, next slide, please. Yeah, this the screenshot of the automation framework. It is designed with scalability and efficiency in mind, and it's make use that's our feature file, which is written in the 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶 syntax. This architecture reflects our commitment to maintaining high standard in our testing process, which serves us well as we continue to grow and tackle more complex projects and more features as the project grows. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. This is a screenshot of the automation framework. Next slide. Yeah, for the test report, this report was generated by the Cucumber, and in our framework, there are a lot of integrated tools like for reporting, logging, and other important feature. But this for the test report. This test report showcase detailed result of our test execution, providing transparency in our test process and outcome. It is a very, very important tool that help us to identify areas for improvement, allowing us to act feedback promptly and continuously refine our testing processes. Practice. Next slide, please. Yeah, for the impediment, we actually face a lot of impediments throughout this sprint, throughout the last sprint. This impediment have provided us with the opportunity to learn and grow. One of the significant challenges has been the bug fix delay by the developer, because having a single developer responsible for this area is quite challenging. So we are unable to proceed as quickly as we can, and as a result, it has impacted our overall velocity. Another challenge that we have is time constraint. So our limited time for effective test iteration has restricted our ability to explore and expand our coverage further. This limitation has prompted us to consider different measures to enhance our capability, like using the equivalent partitioning and boundary value analysis for testing. Next slide, please. Yeah, for the next step, we are committed to addressing this resource limitation. So one of our proposals include having the company to bring in additional developer to reduce dependency on a single individual for bug fixes and increase our overall efficiency. We also plan to expand the automation framework by incorporating additional scenarios into the PDD framework. This expansion will enhance our test coverage and ensure we maintain high standard we set for ourselves. Furthermore, we plan to refine our test scripts for better efficiency. By optimizing scripts, we aim to improve their efficiency and reduce execution time further. This ongoing commitment to excellence will prepare us for the next sprint. Next slide, please. Yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Abimbola. Now we'll move on to the business analysis part. So again, I'm Tona, and I have been the lead BA for Sprint 5. So I'll just move on. Okay, so this is just a highlight of the achievements. For Sprint 5, we had 18 user stories approved for both the mentee and the mentor registration user journeys. We conducted also elicitation and refinement meetings for the next sprint, so covering the booking and payments user journeys. And for the same, for those same booking and payments, also wireframes, process maps, and use cases have been produced for the booking and payments. So here is an example of the bookings and payments user stories. So one is for mobile responsiveness, and then the booking and payment user stories have been separated out so we can focus on making sure that all the scenarios for the payments are covered. And then, excuse me, here are the wireframes for the booking and payments. So we have one just illustrating when you actually find a mentor, then you can then go on to book the mentor. And then a couple of the user frames here show the different payment options. So the middle wireframe covers credit, debit card, checkout. If you choose PayPal, the wireframe on the right, you'll see a PayPal checkout. And then if you choose bank account to account transfer, then these are wireframes covering instant bank transfer and the sort of authentication and what you would see on that journey. And then this is just equivalent wireframes for mobile responsiveness, which has been an integral requirement for each sprint. So here we have credit card checkout example and then a booking confirmation page there. Also, for the booking and payments, this is the process map made. So this is made, so sorry, the wireframes were made using Balsamiq, the Balsamiq tool. And for the process map, this has been made using Visio. And here it just shows the journey that a mentee will take to find mentoring sessions and go ahead and book them and through to the payments. So horizontally, you have three sections. The top, what we call swim lanes. The top swim lane is the mentees, the actions that the mentee takes. The second swim lane are the actions that the website takes, and the third swim lane is the actions performed by the payment gateway. And then here we have one of the use cases. So this use case is for book and mentoring services. So here we have the mentee on the left, and then in the middle, the rectangular box is the boundary of the system, and it shows the different tasks that the mentee will do to get to the point of booking their session. So they have to find the mentor, select the available mentoring slots that the mentor has made available, confirm the slots, then book the mentoring sessions, and then it goes through to the payment gateway. So that's the use case. So, and that's a snapshot of what we've been doing over Sprint 5. Thank you very much for listening. So to summarize, thank you all for listening. These are what we've been doing in Team Dynamic. Thank you all for listening. Thank you.
All right, so I would have loved to, speak about 𝐬𝐈, but repetition is not allowed. But 𝐬𝐈, really, once again, kudos and great job for the confidence. Keep pushing. The sky is your starting point. So I'll just delve in straight to Tona. I'll start with Tona, Marian, then go back to Tona. So for Tona, as regards your facilitating skills, well done. The well done I'm saying is not the regular well done. The well done I'm saying is A++ well done. Your facilitation skill, your zeal, you are a business analyst and you sat in for, you didn't let that deter you because your Scrum Masters were not available and you sat in for them and you exceeded my expectation, not to bring down the previous Scrum Masters and could have been working on the, on your team before joining, but I haven't seen this level of passion from, the other Scrum Masters. She literally was the one chasing me around 5 p.m. Check if it can open. She had sent their slides. Check if it can open. Is it okay? Even when I look at the team chat, she's the one engaging her team, pushing, and it is not her role. And she's taking it personally, which is more than what I can expect. Sorry, apologies about my background noise. All right, thank you. Sorry. So, and on that, sometimes when you see these kind of things, you know that there are some people that can always make things happen. Tona, really, big kudos as regards your facilitation and carrying your team forward. It was a good show for me, for you, for this sprint. You didn't, feel like, oh, I'm helping them do the role. No, you took it personally. My team is my team, and without being told, I know you're part of those that champion to make sure this slide was available, trying to collate and all that. It's not even really easy collating, asking people, oh yeah, bring your slide, add and add and add. But you did it and did it very well. You didn't wait till the last minute timeline to start sending. No, you had it already. At some point you just told me, okay, you probably need to brush up on some things because probably you thought you were going to use a live document before. When you saw the live document wasn't working as you should, and you needed to convert it to a proper PPT, it didn't fret you. You just said, okay, give me a little time, and you came through. So really well done. These are the kind of things you meet in your organization too. I just thought to point that out. Sometimes you might just need to step into other roles. And this kind of thing, I can turn out between me and you can put in your slide that you've done a Scrum Master role. Put it well and explain properly. And that's fantastic. It's an addition for you. So really, kudos, well done. I couldn't hold myself, but to say that then you even in your when you did your BA presentation, because I'm not going to be the one to give your feedback for presentation. You were speaking. I liked that you understood your process map, your use cases. You were explaining like you knew what you were doing. So definitely you knew what you were doing. So there are little things that people might just do that will make people know that this person understands the assignment. So really well done. Don't relent, don't look at other people's pace. Just do your own struggles and get your things done. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I'll go straight to Marian and then come back to you for your SM role. So for Marian, well done, Marian. I can see you've done a lot of work, and I also like the explanation you did at the beginning, to explain that you're starting from afresh. It's better to start now than never, right? So it's a very good job, and you've done a lot, trying to put this together. So, but I will still give you a lot of feedback as to what I've seen today. So I like that you said you developed a project plan, but your project plan, I know you must have done some research, but I'm not sure you researched very well in the sense of tailoring your project plan to mentor-mentee, right? Now, there are some parts that you tailored, no doubt, but there are a lot of parts that you were almost lecturing us, like it's just like me bringing to say Scrum Master is this, Scrum Master is this, when I'm told to speak about my Sprint 5. So at some point, I'll go from one slide to the other so that I can give you the full gist of how it came about. So for your key deliverables, for example, Sorry, for your key deliverables, it looked like a picture. It looked like a picture that you screenshot. I'm not sure you typed it, but there are some things there that sounded like for mentor mentee, which made me have a little hope. But I'm not sure it looks as if you screenshot it and you didn't align it with every other thing you were doing. I wasn't really pleased when I saw that. It looked like you did it and didn't fine tune it. Anything you're doing, slides or anything, if you do not do your alignment, check your fonts, make sure everything is in order, it takes away that effort that you have put into that work. You might think it's irrelevant, but in organizations, all these things matter. That's when they see if somebody is actually on top of their job or not. These little things that we might think is irrelevant. If you check it very well, it looked as if you just put a picture, and you chose a different numbering. That's you use dot for that. The other ones you use, it was one part was big, one part was it wasn't aligning and it wasn't jiving for me. Then your scope. I like that you mentioned the scope, the non-functional and functional scope. It was good, but at some point I thought you were teaching me. You were just listening, you were not tailoring it properly. Sometimes you can even write something down, and when you are explaining, you now tailor it properly for people to understand the point you're trying to give. But it didn't seem as if you were doing that. So, but the fact that you have it on your slide, that means you have an idea what to do. All you need to just do is go back and tailor it properly to mentorship, right? If you tailor it properly, then we can get the understanding of what you are trying to do there. Then for your product backlog, the first slide of your product backlog, I'm not sure what you were trying to depict. Is it that you just wanted to scream on to us to tell us this is the acceptance criteria, this is this, and you didn't own it? Because for your estimation, for example, you said the team can give 5 points to something. That was your explanation for estimation. Nope, we're in sprint 5. That's not what I expect from you, that you have even done Scrum Mastery, for the first couple of sprints. I didn't expect that. You should be able to pinpoint to say, oh, the team, they come together, make decisions, and estimate properly on this. You explain, not saying the team can give maybe 5 points. That was your only talk on estimation. Check the video so you understand what I'm saying. And in my head, I'm like, this is not Miriam that I know, because I know that you've been very, very on top of your job for sprint 1, 2, and I think 3 too, pending when you had, to step away for a while. So, but I won't take all the effort you've done, previously till now, but I just want to focus on this presentation. That's why I'm pointing it out. So when you go back, just go back and amend some of those things. Read and understand what estimation is. Estimation, by now, you should understand that is the amount of effort it takes you to do something. So if you're going to explain estimation and you're not telling us why the team is doing that, then maybe you should just not explain it. It didn't come out well when you were trying to explain it. Then on the second slide, I like the list, and I like that you put the increments, that the team had delivered. I would have loved to maybe have it in a different format. Of course, we cannot read each other's mind completely, but it would have been maybe nicer if it was in a different format that would depict exactly what you were showing. There was no line, there was nothing. It was just like, you wrote something with space, wrote something. It looked slightly aligned, but, sometimes it's just better to either use lines or do it properly. It just didn't come out really well, right, from what you showed. This is me just saying it off heart. I probably should even open the slide to be explaining it. Maybe I'll get what I'm trying to explain better. For the sprint, okay, sprint 2, the second slide of your product backlog, which was sprint backlog. You just told us tax, the landing page, the footer. I liked that you listed all those increments that you wanted to do each sprint, but the format was not really looking good. Then the next thing was your timeline. You see that timeline, out of everything you've done today, is one of the most beautiful thing that you would have just used to convert into something like your roadmap. That timeline that you put sprint 1 from this November, this to this. If only you probably created a third line to now put that increment, you probably wouldn't have even needed that your sprint backlog to be listing, those increments there. You probably wouldn't have needed it to put those increments there. You would have just put it beside that to make it more tidy. I can catch up with you on this just to show you how to go about it, and the format you also used for the timeline, it wasn't really giving. I don't know whether I'm the only one viewing it this way, but it wasn't really giving. So you need to know exactly how you want to do it. It's like you were cropping from Excel or something to bring, whereas you are using, PPT, something you should just create that table in the PowerPoint, it makes your whole work way more better. Except if you people converted something. Anyways, I think by what I even said earlier, maybe it's the conversion that must have caused this, but they were not just diving. Then your mini budget plan for mentor platform and development projects. You know, when you said that no budget for the plan, in my mind, I'm like, but this is a budget you're writing. But you say no budget, no this. In situations like this, when in doubt, please just ask your mentors. They've done this over and over. They will guide you better. Because for your plan, the only thing that you were showing is your personnel cost. That's human resource alone. There are other costs in this plan that are not there. Apologies once again. So the personnel was the only thing you just put there. Personnel cost, personnel cost. You are supposed to be the ADM for the team. So as the ADM, there are lots of other costs that you should have added. That's why I said I think maybe your research was not fully complete. You could have done a better research on that to give us, better costing. And even if there was no costing, if you are probably asking, I'd have given you a costing for you to, use for the project. But that's that. But I like the fact that you even thought about putting a budget there. But seeing it in Sprint 5, though, I wish that come in earlier. Your risk log. So your risk log wasn't too bad, so I'll not dwell on that. Then I like that you had your mitigation plan and everything on it. It wasn't too bad, right? So I like that too. Then the roles within the team. I also like that you apologize for the cyber, but I'm not really sure your clarity as to the team role. Then your communication plan. I liked also that you put communication plan, but to me, that communication plan looks like you just gave us all the events in Scrum. Daily stand-up, sprint review, retrospective. The only thing you said stakeholder update, You said communication plan. How do people communicate? Via email, you know, do they do it weekly? Do they do it monthly? Your Telegram chat, we use it for daily communication within the team. That's what communication is about. You need to tell us timelines of when you do this communication and all that. So what you do as an ADM now, go back and look at samples of communication plan. When you check samples of communication plan, you can determine, how you are going to do some of them. I like if you put frequency, for example, for daily stand-up, say 15 minutes every day, the sprint review, end of each this and that, which is fine. But the main other things that we need to know, which is the real communication between you and your team members. Okay, how do you people send this stakeholder that you put here? How do you send things to them? You send weekly. What do you send to them weekly? Your sprint summary milestones. So that's the one that really did the job for me. But the other ones, it's not. I wasn't really feeling exactly it was just a bit rough. So, but the main things, go back and just check communication plan. But that is even on this slide, and that you put the frequency, a few things. I liked it. I was happy that, Miriam is back. That's why I said to myself, Miriam is back. So well done. I like all the things you put. So, but basically your alignment for even that slide was good, but the next one after it, which was closing of the project, your alignment changed again, the font changed, everything changed, comprehensive documentation and all. I like that you put your closing. Anyways, closing is fine. That you're going to hand over your handover plan, everything. It was beautiful to see all that. So, like I said, in general, if I'm just going to give you, a general feedback, work on your alignment, go back and make better research on each of those topics, and then some slides that I said looked as if you were teaching us, take them out, tailor your slides towards your current project, and that will help. Yeah. All right. Then, thank you so much. Then, lastly, for Tona SM, I like that you went brief, straight to the point. I love that you put the goal. You see, sometimes Easy even does it when it comes to Scrum Master. I love that you chip in the goal straight away. I love that you put the achievement. In fact, that for me, when you did the achievements, that the first thing I just said was, oh wow. You see, in anything you're doing, once you can put your increment or achievement or anything you've done within that sprint as a team, you have done, the main things. You have done the main thing there. So once you can put those ones, you've done half of the job. then you also said where I can start holding you for now. You said you had done 18 issues into the sprint, yada yada yada, but you did not tell us how many of those 18 were. You were just focusing on approved, the ones that were approved and committed, approved and committed. Okay, you approved and committed 18. Did you do 0, or you are even owing? We need to know. Oh, we're able to complete 5 out of the 18, or we're able to complete 14 out of the 18. That will give me more, flow to understand what you have done for the sprint. There's one thing to do something for the sprint. There's another thing, to be able to point exactly what you have done. You said you had done 18. I didn't see. I thought that I'll be able to see it in your bond down, but your bond down wasn't clear enough. Although you referred a bit to that bond down, stating that, oh, the bond down, shows what you had done or not done and all that. I like that too, but it wasn't just clear enough. Maybe it was too tiny or something. So in situations like that, you can verbally explain it. That will help us. One of the things I loved was the bottlenecks you faced. And you didn't just tell us the bottlenecks you faced. You spoke about the resolution. Fight for yourself for that one. It's one thing to have issues, it's one thing to resolve, it's one thing to just state things and not tell us the solution to the things. So thank you very much for that. I like that you put your cumulative flow diagram. Then in all, for me, you understood, the assignment, and this is your first trial. So well done, kudos. If you want to improve yourself on the Scrum Mastery role, you're already in advance, which is fantastic. Feel free to ask any one of us in advance. We'll brush you up on the Scrum Mastery role. If you even want to join some of our calls, I will personally add you to them just to brush up, because you're a born Scrum Master. I'm not taking you away from your BA-ship. You're a born Scrum Master. It was really good to see that. Then I also liked your zeal for the new role and your own current role as a BA. Thank you so much. I think that's that for you, Tona. Thank you. All right. So we'll go to the next feedback. I think after Tona was cyber. I know Deji always wants to go last, so I'll give Deji last. So we'll go to the QA. Ola, like Rita, do you want to give us feedback for Ola? Well done, Tona. Well done, Maria. Rita, are you there?
You're welcome. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Yeah, kudos to the QAs for dynamic. Well done to each and every one of you. And I just want to say to Abimbola Olaide, yeah, well done. Thank you for putting yourself forward. And it was a great presentation. Confidence and yeah, but I just have few issues to highlight. Which was starting with the first slide, which was great. You had it kind of bullet point and you were talking through it, like walking us through it. But then it was coming across as if you were reading from maybe something you've written down. I mean, it's not a crime to have written something down, try and talk us through what you have done over the course of the sprint. But it was just too obvious that you were reading it at some point. I had to look at the slide to see if you were directly reading the slide to us. So what I'm trying to say is, even though you have things written down, you shouldn't make it too obvious. Don't let it come across to whoever you're presenting to that you have something that you've written down and you're just reading word for word. Because you can have something highlighted and just talk through it and, or rather than reading word for word, like things like that, just try and avoid it in the near future. And then for your automation slide, it was great. But some few questions I have for you, which is regarding the email scenario that was done on the automation. I think I don't understand your outcome, because that bit is supposed to be assertion. So you did not, because what you said is then user shouldn't sign in, something like that. but you should have something like then you should assert that page if it's a pop-up that is coming up, what the invalid message that you got, rather than then user couldn't sign or something like that. There should be like a pop-up message saying you cannot sign in, and then using that to validate that particular scenario. And the same applies to the password as well. So I want you to look into that, go back to your drawing board, watch the videos, and then you will see what I'm trying to say. Because what you have there is just like then so you are not validating what is expected, because that would not be the expected behavior of that particular application you are working on if you had an invalid email being logged in. So there should be a better way of explaining how the outcome, what the outcome was, what you saw. So thereby using that particular page or pop-up or whatever you have seen to validate that particular scenario. So yeah, that was that. And yeah, other than that, I don't, well, yes, for the impediment as well, you also had some bugs that were not fixed, but you said you had 100% text coverage. So which is kind of contradicting to what you said before getting to the impediment slide. But overall, I think you guys did very well. Well done. Thanks for putting yourself forward. The test report was also great to have, which I think that's just explaining the BDD format, which is also great. But it would have been great to see like a proper test report showcasing what you guys have done, how much bugs that was raised, and how much test cases that was done for the sprint, and the test cases that were not done, and things like that, just to showcase everything that was covered for the sprint. But having said that, I just want to say well done. Thank you so much for putting yourself forward. And thank you to the team. Well done to each and every one of you, and congratulations. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rita. Thank you. Really spot on, honestly. Well done. The last person, Uzo, before we go to DG. So Uzo for BA. I think that's for Tona too. Tona, you're raining today. Which kind of wala is it? We're angry. Over to you, Uzo.
Thank you. Tona was angry first, so we're matching her energy.
Yes, so.
Okay, so I just want to start by saying really great presentation, Tona. I'll try not to repeat, the feedback you've gotten. Obviously, it's for other roles, so I'll just focus on what you've done as a BA. I'll try, although there's a bit of an overlap, which I'll kind of mention. So really great presentation, lovely confidence, cadence. You were speaking really well. You spoke knowledgeably. You used a lot of the buzzwords, for the role, which was really great. Like I said, the presentation itself was good. It was consistent, uniform, bold letters. It went really well, and all of that. Again, I just want to say, I keep saying that it's okay to make mistakes, but try not to make the same mistakes twice. Learn from your mistakes, basically. And I like the fact that even though you were not able to present, your team was not able to present at the last demo, you guys have come back better, determined to present as well this time. So very well done. What else did I write here? For your presentation, I liked seeing your user stories, wireframes. I'm quite aware that you were the only BA who created all of that. So it's one thing to say, oh, the BA as a role, but you did it. However, in most projects, you're the only BA anyway. So very well done for stepping up. But at the same time, this is what you get in most roles that you still be the only BA doing it. So very well done for that. You showed your wireframes. I like that you showed your mobile responsiveness wireframe as well, which was something that was requested. So you've been consistent doing that. Very kudos. I liked your process map anyone who knows me knows that I love a good process map. And your process map was a thing of beauty. Very, very well done. Your use case as well, really well done. And I know you worked hard on them. It's not your first time. You got feedback, you improved. So what you finally showed us now was really, really good. So I really like that as well. So, however, I'll obviously there's room for improvement. However, I'm aware that for this particular sprint, because of the challenges you've had, which Olami has talked about, you had to step up and provide dual support for your team, lead it, and then also work as a BA as well. So not only were you the only BA who was working in your role, you also now had to take on the extra role as an SM. So I will take that into consideration. However, I do want to give you proper feedback. So regardless of the fact that I understand the circumstances under which you were working, I still want to, highlight some of the things you should have done better or could have done better, especially at this stage of the internship or the program. So the presentation, like I said, was really great. Uniformity, consistency, great, but it was quite text heavy. And another term for demo is show and tell. And that means that you should show us more than you tell us. So rather than, put a lot of text in your presentation, try as much as possible. I wanted to see more. You said that you had 18 user stories and this was your payments sprint. And we know how intricate payment user stories usually are, all the different happy parts, unhappy parts, all these things. I know you worked on all of them. So I'd like to see more of that rather than you just telling me, oh, you worked on 18 user stories. I want to see more of those sorts of what you actually did. I wanted to see a lot more of the artifacts you worked on. Brilliant process map, brilliant use case, but I know you worked on other artifacts as well, so put all these things there. No one can demonstrate what you've done more than you. And like I said, I'm very aware that you were working in dual role. So what I would suggest normally, because even in these presentations you build on what you've done in the past, so rather than remove the slate and start on a clean slate again, you can build on what you've done before. So just have your presentation open on your laptop, and when you're doing things you can just keep adding to it. So when it's time to build on the actual presentation, you have all the materials you've worked on. You don't have to keep thinking, oh, what did I do this sprint, what did I do this sprint? You have it available. Again, I'm aware that you have to split your time with the two roles, but I'm just saying, for future purposes, make sure that you have some of these things open on your laptop while you're working, so you can just keep adding them as you do it, whether it's your glossary or adding things there, so you don't have to think about it when you need it. When you need it, you just pull it up and you clean it up, and that way you have the bulk of the work you've done. Remember, you're giving people this presentation, so you don't have to talk about everything. When you're done with your presentation, I can pull it up and I can look through everything you've done. So even if you just have loads of slides that you don't get to talk through, you just say, okay, these are my wireframes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's fine. I have the presentation, so I can go through it at my leisure and see what you've done, rather than you just putting a line there to say, you've done something and then maybe adding 1 or 2. The way you've done it, you just kind of squished everything in one slide. No, you did a lot of work on it. I want to see what you've done. So try as much as possible to make your presentations how will I say, evidence heavy. Put the evidence of what you've done. You may have 1 or 2 slides that just have, the signpost of what you want to talk about, but then the other slides should actually have the evidence of what you've done, so we can see. Remember, we've been saying this for a while, so I kind of wanted to see that, because I know that what you have there is nothing compared to what you've done. I think 10%, 5% is what you put there based on the work you've done. So you did a lot of work, even regardless of the fact that you were handling 2 roles and leading your team. You did a lot of work and I didn't see it. So that's my own disappointment, that I wish you had added more of what you've done, because you did a lot. I'm glad Adelu is on this on this slide. You've had trainings this sprint. You've had workshops this sprint. You've done a lot, and I didn't see a lot of it. You told us that you use Balsamic and you use Visio and you use Lucid Chat. You can have a slide where you have all your tools. You can have a slide where you have all the competencies you've learned. Like I said, I know you learned about requirements traceability matrix. You talked up, we did gap analysis. There's a lot you learned that you didn't showcase, so I wanted to see more, not just that you should have put more, but I know you did more. It's just that you didn't showcase it. So remember, you are your own biggest what do you call it, cheerleader. There's something called visibility at work. You can work hard, but if people don't know you've done it, they don't know you've done it. No one will come and see what you've done. You need to show them with the artifacts and the documents and everything you've done. Put it in a place that is visible and let people go through it at their leisure and go like, wow, this is, a lot of work, because it's good work, so yeah, so those are some of the things I wanted to see as well. I wrote here, build on your successes, because you've done, a lot. This just felt like, you just started afresh in sprint 5. No, you've done more than, a lot. I like that you talked about what is coming up in sprint 6. I didn't see it. You just talked about it. So all these things, try as much as possible. When you talk about something, have just a little phrase highlighting, rather than long sentences, little phrase, and then now show the evidence of what you've done, so but all in all, it was a huge improvement. I think this was your best one yet, and so it was a huge improvement. I just wanted to see a lot more, so that's basically my feedback. The other thing I want to say is, let me see if I've I wanted you again. It is a huge improvement, but I wanted it to end bigger. I was looking forward to, something bigger. But basically, my final thing is, I really hope you have started applying for roles, because you are more than ready. You need to start applying for roles now. Make sure your CV is ready, make sure everything's ready, and then start applying, start going for interviews. You have the confidence, you have the expertise, and you can keep growing. Like Olami said, thank God you're in advance. So we're all growing together, but you need to start applying for roles. I think you're more than ready. I don't know that if you haven't, I don't know what you're waiting for, but I think you should start. But very, very, very well done. Regardless of all the improvements I talked about, please don't have any doubt that I'm so impressed with everything you've done. I've had the privilege of working with you even during the sprint, so I know what you've done. If I have any disappointment, it's the fact that you didn't showcase what you've done. Not that you didn't do it, but just that you didn't showcase it. So but very, very, very well done on your leadership, on your presentation, on your work as a BA. And even if you want to learn being a Scrum Master in the advanced, you are a BA. So no one is going. You can be a BA/Scrum Master, but you are a BA. We have claimed you. You are ours. So yes, you're a BA. So
sorry,
allow me. But yes, she's a BA. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uzo. All what you said so spot on, except your last sentence. What do you mean? We can change our mind to be a Scrum Master. What do you
She
mean?
can add to what she's doing, but we're not ready to release her. We're very happy with her. Thank you.
And secondly, I also said I never knew that a process map for you can ever be qualified like a human being. Beautiful. I've never heard you.
You should see that process map. No, you should see it. You should. It is so good. It is so good.
Oh, of course, I looked at it.
The only thing is that she only worked on the payments bit. So thank God, at least she just. I want to see a. Thank you so much. I want to see a more robust one. But the payments process, it was very good. It was very good. So well done.
Really well done. In fact, when she was spilling the process map, showing the use case, I was like, Like you said, really, I think a lot of this, a couple of you, let me not use the word a lot because we're just few in this particular cohort. a couple of you are actually ready to go out there. Honestly, don't deprive yourself. And there's something the GC used to encourage us way back then. What's the worst case? Like, what's the worst case if you apply and they call you and you go for an interview? Though, yeah, we know the goal is for you to get the job, but what's the worst case? They won't give you a B, but at least you've trained yourself. The next interview, you definitely do better. So please just throw out these CVs, guys. Tona, please chat me by the end of this week and say I've sent out 50 or I've sent out 100. I want to see you say that. Really, I think you guys, some of you are ready, so please throw out your CV, and hopefully, and this set, I really am looking forward to, a couple of you, acing your role before we completely finish. We're finishing very soon anyways. So, but not most of all the sets, there are always a couple of people that would have gotten the role, at the tail end of the internship, and I've not heard any one of you in this cohort. So hopefully we'll still get a couple of you that will land your role before you finish the internship and or immediately afterwards. So really all the best. Thank you so much for the feedback once again, Uzo, and well done, Tona, on what you've showcased today. Don't go and cry. Oh. Uzo will always tell you the truth. So I like that she showed you, all the ups and downs. Your use of artifacts on point, your use of buzzwords on point. So really, thank you. So we'll go straight to Mayowa, because if Mayowa does not get his feedback today, Mayowa might faint. I actually wanted Adeolu to also give feedback for you, Tona, but I think she has dropped off. She's in another zone, so she might not be able to wait all through. So it's fine. So Deji, why are these people sending all the love in this world? Deji, over to you for Mayowa before you give us a total, feedback. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So even though I wanted to say before my ball, I'll talk about it later anyway. I don't know what you guys have been drinking, so I've got a different viewpoint to
Please go ahead. We are happy to hear your own side.
All right, so because sometimes you just say, okay, yeah, then did you just wrap up and I don't get to say anything, but not today. So, okay, let me start with my first anyway. So, but I think that was good. And so, if I want to sound like everybody, I'll also be a lot critics about it. But if I look at the fact that you've done almost like 5 sprints now, right? I would say that, yeah, maybe I was looking for more, right? But of course, you said that, okay, it's Sentinel that you did in this particular sprint. But to be honest, Sentinel is big, it's massive. You go for some training, and the only thing they teach them is Microsoft Sentinel. And even some people at work, the only thing they do at work as a cyber security professional will be Sentinel, actually, because it's one of the leading application from Microsoft in terms of cybersecurity. So I would say don't take it like, yeah, it's just any application. To be honest, if you know it very well, that's fine. I like the fact that you kind of explain what it is used for, right? And its benefit, which is good, and the feature within that, which is really, really brilliant. And to be some people will just mention Sentinel and they won't mention that it's from Microsoft anyway. So, which I think is another thing, having to know who actually built it anyway. But of course, we know that is inside Azure Cloud anyway, which I think is good. So, well done on that. So, and one thing I want to say, I like the fact that you showed the screenshot of Azure Resource Group, which is fine anyway, but it's just standard. To be honest, that resource group is standard. It could be for Sentinel, it could be for anything, but it's a log. But where exactly is the log? I was expecting you to to open the log so that we can see it. Do you get it now? So not only that as well. So the monitoring part, when you do monitoring, what did you see? Do you get it now? Not just one or two. I think you only put 2 screenshots anyway. So that, except from the fact that you actually did a good justice to speaking to us, which is similar to what Uzo was talking about, right? So you say a lot of things, but there's not a lot of artifact to support what you've done. Do you get it now? And I know you might have gone through the Sentinel, the monitoring the properties, and also even the setup itself as well. Do you get it now? I was expecting you to, because I can see even on that it's your profile. Do you get it now? And maybe you thought that it is kind of easy, even for people to set up Azure, Microsoft Azure portal. It's not that easy, to be honest. Do you get it now? Maybe you've actually done that presentation before anyway. So, but within this Microsoft Sentinel environment, there are a lot of things that is there. Do you get it now? That I was expecting you to display anyway. Even yeah, of course, maybe even if it's only monitoring part of it, but of course there's also user as well, ability. Yeah. So and also administrative part of it, the recommendation as well. Do you get it now? So all those things, or maybe perhaps you've not actually reached that anyway. So, but good thing also, you said you are coming to advance, and I said, yeah. So the advance for cybersecurity is really, really great, and those guys are also wonderful with part actually leading it for with them anyway. So it's something that yeah, you might really, really yeah, be hands-on and also be able to use it on a particular project, because now it's just theory that you are learning. So how do you, maybe that's what is missing right now. It's okay. So now I've been given a project. How can I use Sentinel to be able to kind of assess the risk and also the threat level, and also to detect threats or investigate the threat and report incidents anyway. So those are the things that you would then learn from advanced, because I was expecting to see those data that you collected. Do you get it now? Maybe you've not got to that level anyway. I'm even happy to hear from you as well in terms of feedback anyway. So, Paul, we would kind of continue from there when we get to advance anyway. But having said that, I think it was a good presentation, to be honest. If you are able to say what you said now at interviews, I think you might get the job, because they won't know that you need all this artifact and everything or screenshot, because in terms of delivering it, saying it, and yeah, it was really, really good. Yeah, well done. Yeah. Okay, all right, cool. So I think that is fine. So now talking about the rest before I wrap up, right? So project management, yeah. So well done, Miriam. That was good. I won't repeat anything anyway, but it was really, really good. The fact that this is you just making transition again, right? I've been so okay. Now I'm gonna focus on Scrum on project management right now instead of the Scrum Master that you've done before, right? So I think it is good. So, but yeah, if you've kind of done I think I get the part that Olawumi was talking about in terms of the tables, right? So for me, to be honest, I kind of preferred screenshot table than table done in PowerPoint. Anyway, that's my preference. Do you get it now? Technically, you are so let's say myself and Olawumi we're in the meeting. Olawumi will take you no, I will say yes. Because the reason I prefer the screenshot is that it's not going to get distorted, right? So you got it as an image and it's there, right? But with a table in PowerPoint, depending on the size and depending whether it's zoom or you can get the text overflowing and something like that anyway. So that's what I would still align with what you said. But of course, there's some part of your text that you need to amend. There's some text that is flowing in different parts anyway that I think you should have actually corrected anyway. So, and of course the font could also be better, having said that anyway. But one thing I do agree with Olawumi in terms of the Excel itself. Do you get it now? the where you do a screenshot of Excel format. No, that you don't do that at all. Do you get now where you now have column A and B, one row 1, 2, 3? No, that is a no. Technically, it's not a very good. As a project manager, you are going to be a lot of presentation, so you need to bring your A game on that aspect anyway. So I think I would just encourage you to kind of do more of this presentation, get more feedback, and get better, because as a project manager, this will be one of your roles, to be able to kind of present this to stakeholders every time. Do you get it now? So yeah, to be honest, if you want to come into advance, you can, yeah, get all these critiques every time, and you get better at this anyway. So except from that, the other screenshots for me, I think you certified me on that aspect. Then I prefer screenshot than the image, but not screenshot of Excel technically anyway. That's why I said I disagree. So okay, all right. So that is that, and very good. So at the point you lost me actually to say, I think that's one of the sometimes it's not good for a scrum master to move into project management, because you get confused at the point. So at the point you were like, are you talking about agile, or are you talking about waterfall of a project manager, right? That thin line is there, right? Just need to know this is waterfall, this is project management. Yeah, it's not like, for instance, you were talking about story points, sprint planning. I think there's a place of sprint planning or something like that. So, retro. You are actually talking about ceremonies in Agile, right? That is not the conventional project manager. Do you get? Or unless you are talking about this hybrid agile project manager, then you would, yeah. So you'll be fine. But you're talking about real project manager, they don't do all these ceremonies anyway. But I just need to let you know. Then having said that, in terms of story point that you put there, I could see 6, 7. There's nothing like that anyway. So for conventional one, right? You have to use Fibonacci, and it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, and then 8, right? There's no 6 and 7 in terms of story points. So just, yeah, know that. So toner 1, toner 2, that was good anyway. So, and I know that there you've got some critiques from Olawumi, and I feel like, Uzo is a bit kind of generous, but Olawumi was like, I don't know what she's doing today. Was like, yeah, you guys, blah blah blah. But it's good. And that's where if you go to S Factor, you see Simon Cowell giving you blah blah. But maybe that the Simon Cowell of this particular program anyway. But uh, for even generally, right? This presentation is, if not the best, is the best thus far in this particular cohort. Today's one that you guys have done, actually, maybe it's at the end anyway. But I know that my team, yeah, to be honest, there's no how you can satisfy them that much, actually. So, because of course, if I was the one that was doing that, they know that I will have criticized them as well anyway. So because they just want the best for the best, and that's what we do at BlueSky anyway. So even though you've done your best, we still want improvements, right, in what you do, so that you can get better. So, and for that, I do agree that there's a lot of room for improvement, but that did not take away a lot of things that you've done. I agree with Isola with me or Uzo about the number of tickets that you've done, right? 18. And I put in my note, I said, that's beautiful, right? But when Uzo allowed me, I think it was Uzo that said, yeah, you've done 18, but I don't see anything. And yeah, that's true, right? But that means you actually change yourself, right? You could have put the screenshot in there, and we'll have given you feedback on them one after the other. Do you get it now? So, and yeah, to be honest, like Uzo, I love process maps as well. To be honest, that's one thing I can sit down on one and analyze it thoroughly. So, and which I did actually. So, and that's where you need to put your artifact in, to be honest, so that you can get feedback on that process map. I'm trying to go because I need to skip the others now quickly. So I'll go to that place quickly. So on that process map, there's a bit that uh, I wanted you to show it anyway so that you can understand, but if other people can see. So in the beach that we have for found, where's that? Yeah, is it found suitable mentors, right? Yeah. When you have found suitable mentors, hold on, let me I'll quickly share the screen because I think it's better for you to be visible so that you can see and other people can see. Apologies. Yeah. So cool. Minutes. Okay. Okay. I think I've kind of removed my comments anyway. It's okay. All right. If you can see this, even though this is good, right? Because you have a no pointing up and you have a yes pointing to the next one, it's okay. But this is a wrong presentation, right? So, and to be honest, you've done a better one. Look at this one, right? This is going no, and this is going yes. That is what you need to do. Not the same and opening. You got one going up, another one is pointing out. I've never seen this. This is your own. You've just designed your own diamond anyway. So do you get it now? Maybe you can patent it, right? The best thing is one comes in, another go out. Do you get it now? So this comes in here and it goes out from here or from here anyway. So if it's no, it goes out there. If it's yes, it goes out here. Not both of them on the same place, right? So, and this is what you've done there. So well done. So please don't do this, okay? All right, cool. So, and that applies to everybody as well. So in case you want to do the same thing. So yeah, moving forward from that. So the next person, I think will be the keyway, right? So I've done yeah. So yeah, I know. So to be honest, Rita took after me, I would say. So, but I think Olaide he did very well actually. And to be honest, even in my note, I was saying I wrote down that I said no, not reading, right? Because I was looking at it. I said, oh, this guy is just kind of going through and he's not reading what's on the slide, which is brilliant. But when Rita now said, yeah, I know you are not reading, but it seems that you are reading on another document. And I said, maybe that's right. So I need a chat on the message to say, okay, is she right? But because it was so perfect that, to be honest, if you are not reading, maybe if you are in an interview with someone like Rita, right, or they will be thinking, yeah, this person is reading. Do you get it now? Because you are so fluent. Do you get it now? But you are not reading from the slide. Do you get it now? So, and I really don't know how to address that if you are not reading from the slide because you don't want to be in an interview like that and someone will say, I don't believe this guy is saying what you need to say. Do you get it now? Maybe that's another thing also. I go for an interview like that and they ask me questions, right? And I put on ChatGPT, right? And I've got the answer. But I won't read it like that. I would say, oh, do you trying to make it read? Do you get it now? As if you are still thinking about it, not like to make it so fluent that they say, okay, this girl has got an expo on one side. So that is a very, very strong feedback that you need to look into, right? But it was good. I think Rita also mentioned that it was so good as well. Anyway, so and I like the automation. To be honest, for everyone knows that if you put a screenshot for automation, it just brought me in. So, and I can buy you some popcorn and everything. It's like it's a movie. But another thing, yeah. So, and Rita mentioned the fact the then clause, right? So, and yeah, so I think it boils down to is at the back of your step definition. Do you get it now? Because waiters want you to validate the assertion and everything, and also wants you to validate the was maybe there's an error message or something like that. So because that's another thing, even though you put a very good BDD framework there, maybe you should have shared or showed your step definitions, right? So that we can see when you say user should not be registered or should be registered, which is could be fine. But what are you validating at the back of that BDD feature steps? Do you get it now? That could also have helped you anyway. So, but I think that is what is missing right now. You left some part out of the presentation, like the step definition, the page object anyway. But of course, like Rita said, which I agree, the report was good and well done on that aspect anyway. So, and then of course, I agree with Rita in terms of the coverage rights. So, are you telling me that you got 100% coverage? Right? I don't think so, right? Because you've not even finished the project because of the delay from the um, from the developers. And having said that, you could also argue that you've got 100% coverage on the tests that you've done, right? So which could also mean is because the one that has not been developed, we haven't got coverage for it. We haven't done even testing of it. But the one we've tested manually, we got 100% coverage in terms of automation. But this what you delivered was good. The question I want to ask now, right, quickly is it a teamwork or were you the one that did it? So I need a response from the chat anyway, because it's two things. If it's a teamwork, then I think your team have done brilliantly, right? If it's not, right, I've got a responsibility for you, right? Maybe before the graduation, have a session with the team. So I need to know so that you can quickly bring them up to speed. And good thing is like most of the guys in there are coming to advance. Even if it's not a teamwork, as long as they are coming to advance, they've got you as a body. You get it now that you can make sure that they are up to speed. So you have a work to do there. And to be honest, the more you train people, the more you explain what you know, the more you get better, to be honest. And this is one of the reasons that I am doing this. And I know the same applies to most of the mentors as well, because once you're able to explain what you know several times, to be honest, at interview, you never know. They can just call you an interview and you don't need to prepare, to be honest. You just go and say what you've said several times anyway. So, that's it. So, yeah, but well done. And going back to Tona again, right? So, and I know that Laomi said uh, your stories, you didn't finish all of them. And so I know because in the beginning, you also mentioned the fact that, yeah, you had issues with developer. And I agree with allow me in terms of how you are able to address that. You didn't point the problem. You also said what you've done anyway. But of course, in this is a problem that even Laomi also could have experienced at work as well, that you've committed to doing something and you did not even do it actually, right? Or you didn't finish, right? And it happens to every Scrum Master. But unfortunately, you are bearing the brunt of the Scrum Master right now because you've committed to do it and it's not happening. But unfortunately, it's not your responsibility to develop it, it's the developer, right? But you still need to kind of put it in a good way so that your developer does not look as I'm being thrown under the bus. Do you get it now? Because it's a shared responsibility for everybody. And that is the role of a Scrum Master. A good Scrum Master should be able to kind of protect his team. I know some people like that. If you allow me is one of those corporate in advance anyway, you will you will never hear anything from their team that is negative. Everything will be like, yeah, it's working, it's positive and everything. But they try to patch everything and you get it now. But sometimes as a mentor, I know when things are wrong and I call them out, but they'll still defend it again. But maybe they go and fight in their own stand-up. I don't know. But yeah, but that's the quality of a good scrum master. Defend your team, then you can go into your retro and make it like a burning fire. But eventually, before you leave that retro, ensure that everybody's fine, everybody's okay. That nobody has cried out of the meeting and everything. So that's it. So that's what I want to say anyway. So well done to everyone. This is good. But and allow me, I said that he's going to speak to the other team, right? So I really don't know what happened. So and if we do still have time, we can look into that. I've got some people that have sent their I think that's me for the yeah. So I think I want to do a quick